Well, here we are today in Foxy's, the best restaurant in the universe. And I do believe we have Shan Nourian.
I think you give me too much credit.
Not at all. You are the owner of fabulous Foxy's.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, this restaurant, this Foxy's, how long has it been here?
It's over 50 years.
Since 1964.
1964.
1964. And this is the original building.
This is the original building.
It is fabulous. Do you know who the original owners were?
There were 4 partners. It was one Richardson, one Mr. Ted Hudson, I believe, Joe Lynch, and Dexter Blindberry, which I think all 3 of them are deceased now. One is living.
Ah, I see. How did you, do we have any photos of any of them?
Unfortunately, no, I have no photos of any of it.
All right.
But Mr. Richardson stops by once in a while with his son because they still build restaurants, believe it or not.
Fair.
And they still build, housing, residentials, and all that.
Oh, that's so exciting. That is really, that is great.
He must be about 90 years old by now.
Really?
But he stops in once every few years.
Now, when you bought this restaurant, it was all much different than it is today. What was it like?
Well, let me give you a history of what happened.
Yeah, that's another question. How did you find Foxy's?
I was working for chain Sambo's. I don't remember if you know that. If you remember, Sambo's chain was like a Denny's.
Oh yes.
And they went out of business. And I was out of work for about 6 months. I was doing odd jobs, applying different places and all that. So one day I just was looking at the ads. I said, there's a restaurant for sale. I said, okay, let me give it a try. I was 24 years old. I didn't have any money. I had no capital whatsoever. So I said, let me just go find out. Let's explore to see what's going on. So I called the broker and he said the place is in Glendale. I didn't know even where Glendale was because I always work in the west side. They used to send me to Orange County, different places and all that.
Where were you living at the time?
I was living in West Los Angeles. I practically lived in all the streets from the freeway to the ocean. So, as I recall, I called the broker. He met me over here at Foxy's. The place was so different. We just had one dining room. And when I walked in, I said, this place needs a lot of attention, needs a lot of work and all that. And I was excited. I said, if I get this, I can do this, I can do that. I look at the menu, it was very, very limited. So I said, well, I probably can turn this around. So I said, I'm interested in how much they want. They gave me a price. I said, to tell you the truth, I don't have any money, but let me talk to the owners. So 2 of them, Ted Hudson and Joe Lynch, we met at a place in Galleria. There was a restaurant on the bottom. I forgot the name. I think something Pan. Anyway, we met at the bar over there, and I started talking to them. I said, I can change this around. I know that the place is not making money, and you're losing every month a lot of money, and it's going to be a burden on you. Give me a chance to turn this around. I'll make you an offer, and I'll pay your money back. They said, oh no, we're going to think about it. So while they were thinking about this, I came in, I went and I talked to the chef. His name is Alfredo. And I said, Alfredo, I was thinking of taking over the place, and I think it has a lot of potential. There's so much we can do. What do you think? Can you help me out? He said, yeah, I will help you out. I can see that. I know a lot of things in the back too. The kitchen needs to be done. I can see the service and all that needs an improvement. The food certainly needs to be improved and all that. So I went back. The second day I talked to him again with the two owners. I said, I'm telling you honestly, I can turn this place around. Just give me a chance. they gave me a contract. They made it for 10 years.
Wow.
So next thing I know, after 30 years, 30 days, we close the escrow, and here I'm walking.
Ah, I love it. Oh, it's great.
I really didn't know. I knew what I'm going to do, but I have never done that before.
Right.
The first thing, you know, this kid is walking to a restaurant.
And Chef Alfredo is still here, right?
Chef Alfredo is
that's
still here.
wonderful. That is great. Maybe we can talk to him. Never know.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could talk to him.
Yeah. So you got them to give you the restaurant, basically.
Right, yes.
And that's because they believed that you could make it
I
work.
gave him a promissory note.
Right.
And I started after 30 days. I walked in, and I started working. And when I started working, the girls, they said, "Oh my God, this guy knows what he's doing."
So these photos that you have shown me, these are the original photos of
Correct,
what
yes.
it looked like when you started here.
Right. And they had shag carpeting back.
Shag. What color was the shag?
It was yellow shag.
Yellow. So that was. I recall that you had put a lot of movie posters in, and
That's right.
a lot of nice accessories and things like that. What did you do with the yellow shag carpet?
We took it out. That's the first thing I had come to money, and we took it out. Because when I walked in, I said, "Oh my God, who's putting shag carpet in the restaurant?" It was a terrible look.
It's amazing. And it's so beautiful now. It is so beautiful. You decided to go and start Foxy's when you saw some advertisements
Right.
for the restaurant. What was your inspiration for the design? How did you figure out what to do and how to change it and how to make it so beautiful?
At first, I didn't know what I'm doing, to tell you the truth. But my dad gave me an idea. He said that if you put the patio in, it'll make it work, because you're going to get more seating. It's not that, because I was working 4 years already. We were trying to make some money. I was paying back the loans and all that. So I talked to the landlord, and we made a deal with him, and he allowed us to make the patio. And we built this room that we're here now to, is additional to the patio. Because we're getting more busier and busier and busier, and we're getting out of space. There was no space for people to sit. So we put the patio in, and I was the first, I think, restaurant in the Glendale that put the patio in. But we had umbrellas back then we put canopies. After canopies, we put what we have right now. It's a wood structure, permanent structure.
So you created the menu with
help of Chef Alfredo.
So Chef Alfredo was
Because
yours.
he just takes chances with everything, really, and he
And
creates.
creative.
He's very creative. I guess I'm a very lucky man. I'm very appreciative of the people in Glendale. They always supported me, and my staff too. They always are behind me. I have people that they work for me for the last 35 years. I mean, their kids. They have 4 families that their kids they work over here for me. And my greatest appreciation and a pleasure is that when I see their kids, they achieve what they want. Because I have like Alfredo, his son is the greatest attorney, and that's, I mean, just the greatest gift to me. I have their kids, they become doctors, they become nurses, and I mean, I'm just happy that I was a helping hand to them.
There's a funny story I heard about Chef Alfredo. What happened with the Chef Alfredo statue?
One day I was passing by the street, and I see in front of the store they're selling this statue, which the belly of it was a menu. You could write your specials on it. I said, "Wow, looks good, and it looks like Alfredo." So I bought the statue, I brought it over here to the restaurant. We used to at first put it in front of the door, and we put the right specials on it. And every customer that walked in said, "Is that Alfredo? How did you make that? It looks like exactly like Alfredo." And after a while, everybody was walking, oh, Alfredo is there. Alfredo wanted to see Alfredo to compare to see that was really him, and it really looked like him. So we had it for years in front. Then it got a little bit of a crack. So I said, well, it doesn't look good anymore. I'm going to put it on the side street, on the sidewalk. So we had it there for quite a long time. All of a sudden, it vanished one day. And we didn't hear, we didn't know. We called the police. They said, we had some vandalism over here. They took the statue out. So about a week later, one of the policemen, they called and they say they found the statue. I said, where did you find it? They said it was on the hiking trail on Griffith Park.
Oh, no.
With his hand broken.
So someone actually carted it up there.
Yeah.
And took Chef Alfredo. Oh my goodness.
And I think they put it in the corner when you turn on the trail. They put Chef Alfredo there with his belly, and
so what did
made a sign on his broken hand, something like this way or go down.
So you got Chef Alfredo's statue back?
No, it was just, it wasn't useful, it was ruined.
So I bet Chef Alfredo was very upset.
He was very upset, but I was very happy that they found it. But when we got it back, it was not usable anymore because it was already, the arm was broken and all that.
Your menus, looking at all of these old menus going back, and then the current day menus, you just want to order one of everything.
Well, a lot of the menus on the item was suggested by the customers because we get, let's say, so many customers, and every time they say, oh, you know, if you put this on, or I have seen this, maybe you want to try it. So we put it on special to see how the people, they react to it, how they, then after that it says, oh, it's good and it looks good, and we put it on the menu. The first time we did it was a Halloween party they had. So I said, what are you going to have? It says hamburgers and hot dogs and all that. So I said, Alfredo, can we do that? He said, yes, we can do that. So we went there. Within a week, we made steam tables. I had a customer that if he was fabricated, he'd help me to make steam tables. We made huge barbecues and all that, and we put the event together, and she became our customer every time for like every holiday. For Christmas, for Thanksgiving, we used to do catering for thousands of people. But we got so busy after a while that we just couldn't do it, and I miss that. My biggest assets are my employees because they are, all of them, they're wonderful. And again, they have been with me a long, long time, and their kids, they work for me too now. But they're my biggest asset. I could have not done this without them. They're just fabulous people. And I have people that I have a zero turnover because people, when they come, when the industry is like sometimes 300% turnover, I have zero turnover. Either they have to get married or they have to move away, or something drastic happens in their life that they move on, or they finish their school.